Alright, we got an AOD, last year of the AOD here. The early models on the torque converter, I doubt you'll ever see one, but they had this little piece back here was pressed on and it would work its way loose and leak. So you need, if you had that style, you definitely wanted to upgrade to this style where it's solid and you can go in there and weld it. On the other side, you pull your shaft out of the center, stick it down in the torque converter, get you a pair of vice grips, and you're going to check the sprag that's down inside there. If you can turn a shaft at all in either direction, it's bad. Let me get this out the way. Alright, let's make sure we got a good view. And what happened on this unit is what happened on most of the units. On the throttle body, there's a grommet for the throttle pressure linkage, and it disintegrates and falls off, burns your unit up. And that's what happened here. And what they did, instead of getting another grommet, they just put a cotter key to hold it onto there. Even if you do that, you're guaranteed to burn your unit up. The early models were in such a way that when the grommet fell off, it had a rod on it, and the rod would fall and push it to high line pressure, so you had a good chance of it not burning the unit up. With these, it stays in low line and it burns them up. So definitely somebody's been into here. We got these 13mm studs usually up here. Not surprising, it's probably been built several times. 10mm on the top. This little thing right here, you can throw it away. Alright, we've got 2 Phillips on the governor. You can see how loose this weight is. I'll show you how to tighten that up. Alright, we got our filter that's in here. We have our little weight. This weight goes with the feed out. And this one's stuck pretty good. We may be buying another governor. That one's stuck pretty good. We'll see what we can do with it. I have a snap ring here. Alright, somebody put it on backwards. You guys wonder why I say put the short end of the taper out. That's why. It's, you know, your snap ring pliers will just fall off. You can see how the taper is going that way. It was in. This would have been out towards us. It would have been easier to get off. Pull your weight off. The feed holes face forward. There's a 1/4 inch check ball here. $13mm on the throttle pressure. 10mm on the pump. And you can get the pump out the same way I do the 470Ws without the pump puller. I'm just going to go ahead and use pump puller. $10mm on the can. 8mm on the filter and the valve body. Oh, great. I think we've got a shift kit in this unit. Yep. Yeah, I have to find out whose it is. That does not make me happy right there. If I had to guess, it's that's a Transgo kit right there. If I could find a valve body, I would probably do it. I don't know how easy it's going to be to find a valve body for one of these, especially right now. $10mm on the plates for the valve body. Get me a new fitting. And that stand that hissing. 8mm on this belt up here. Alright, snap ring pliers, these are going to be too big. I'm going to need these. This is spring loaded, so watch yourself when you take it off. Sometimes they come flying out, sometimes they don't. And one down here. Well, that one come flying out. I don't know where the spring went. Hopefully we didn't get the, oh, they put them underneath. That's the first time I've ever seen that. Hopefully we didn't get oil all over the lens of the camera. There's different servos for the overdrive here. I'm surprised they didn't put a, I believe it's an A that's got the most apply. And if you're going to do all this other work to it, why not put a bigger servo in it? Some things people do, I just don't understand. Alright, check your servo cover. Very common to get very hard, rock hard. And if your servo is rock hard, your cover is too. And this is nice and soft. There's different grooves in here. This is a 2 groove. And adjust your band. Here's our servo. I'll see if I can come up with this. I believe it's an A. I have to find out which one it is. It's been so long. These little tabs right here. We pop those off. And our piston will come out after that. Let's see, at least they put the bleed hole at the right spot. Pump washers are selective. Looks like they replaced the bushing. Maybe we won't have to do that. Check your ring lands, make sure they're not screwed up. Surface here is not screwed up. Make sure our pump gears, especially where the converter goes, is not messed up. Alright, I think we look okay. Overdrive band's usually burnt. This one is. Alright, come off of there. Check our sprag. Turning counterclockwise, locking clockwise. There's washer style and bearing style. This is the washer. We'll take these drums apart in a minute. Our hub, make sure the clutches haven't heated up. They're looking good. Make sure our bearings are okay. Some shells like to eat up where the drum sits. This is just a little bit. It'll work just fine. This likes to snap off, so make sure it's okay. Sun gear's not pitted. Center support snap ring. There's an anti-clunk spring up in there. You can pop that out. They tend to get stuck in the case. You pull your planet out now. frag's turning counterclockwise, locking clockwise. Make sure bushing's okay. Make sure it's not eat up right here where it hits the case. Low frag. Make sure our bush bearing down in here feels okay. Bushings look alright. Now I've only make sure your pinions are not wobbling and they're not pitted. And I've only seen it one time, but where this is riveted on, I've seen this come loose. The solid bands that look like this, they usually are in good shape. It's when you get those tan ones, it's when they start to coming apart. Alright, our hub. This bearing here, I've seen a long time ago, but I've seen where this bearing was pitted and it would give you a noise just like a torque converter. Make sure your ring lands, where the ring lands go through the case there, are not eat up. Always replace that bushing down in the bottom of the case. Our washer and our bearing. Alright, you got to pull the snap ring off. This is the same way the AOD-E's would be. You can't get the drum out. The very early AOD-E's, you couldn't get the drum out because the planet ring gear is too small. It has to come out the back side. Make sure our bearing surface there is okay. Make sure our bearing's alright. Ring gear. These wear out. The splines right here. See how recessed they are? They should be all the way up to the end. Now on an AOD-E, on a AOD, you can modify this shaft and put a ring on it if we can still get it, and still reuse this drum. If I can still get that ring, that's what we're going to do, because the splines are not worn out. The stamp steel, the cast drums are much tougher than the stamped steel ones, and I'm surprised somebody's replaced this, because this should have a stamped steel drum in it. Alright, let me pull the snap ring out. It did have a spring on top. Our return spring, our piston. Now if we can't get that spiral ring to go on that shaft, we're going to have to replace this drum. And let me take our forward drum apart. Make sure our cushion plate's not broke. Our snap ring and our retainer, return spring, and piston, and our snap ring, our clutches, there's another wavy snap ring down inside here. Thing right there. This bell plate likes to crack. Make sure it's not cracked. And there's a ring here. get it out. There's my opening. Right there. And our piston. Alright. Let me go right this one up. Make sure we're not ring cutting there. Make sure we're not ring cutting there. And very rare, but make sure you're not ring cutting there. Alright, let me go right this one up and see if I can get that ring, and we'll be back. Alright, so we got LS kit, which is kit with clutches, filter, pump bushing, case bushing, overdrive band. The Supplier K001, and that's the grommet, I believe. One of these is grommet, one of these is a spiral ring. And KO10, I think that's a spiral ring. Then the KO11 is a super servo. It's larger than the A, so it'll give us even more holding power than the A. And I think this was an F52, I think is what it said on it. Alright, so we'll get this sold. Did find a valve body. I'm going to talk to him about swapping that out, because it is a Transgo stage 2 and 3 kit, and I'm not real thrilled about putting that back together. I talked to a buddy of mine that's done one. He said he didn't like the way it worked, so we'll see about swapping the valve body out.